चक्षुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So welcome for the discussion on Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Okay, so we are continuing this chapter, and last time we discussed, we had I think only one session because of the Rath Yatra.
Yes.
So this time, last time we already discussed about the definition of pure devotional service, and we discussed the workshop, are we practicing pure devotional service? And we completed that section. And now today we are going to see a proof that what Rupa Goswami has given a definition, Anya Bhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanushīlanam Bhaktiruttama. Is there a proof in the Shastra for this definition? Or is it like, obviously it is made by Rupa Goswami, but is it based on some other definition from the Shastra? So Rupa Goswami gives a proof from Narad Pancharatra. So he says here that this proof. Yeah. Okay, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Vijay, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. So he says Sarva Upadhi Vinirmuktam. Very famous shloka. We have heard it earlier. He quotes this. Sarva Upadhi Vinirmuktam Tatparatvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktiruchyate. Yes, Pratik, could you read?
Sure, Vijay. Hare Krishna. Bhakti is defined as Bhakti Uchyate, service to the Lord, Rishikesha Sevanam, using the senses, Rishikena. It should be done with the intention of pleasing the Lord, Tat Padatvena, free of other desires, Sarvopadhi Vinirmuktam, and unobstructed by other processes, Nirmalam. Narad Pancharatra.
Yeah, so this is basically a proof for definition of Uttama Bhakti. That the definition is based on the previous Acharya's Shastra, like that. Okay, it's not a definition which is made on a mental speculation like that. Okay, so anything we give should be based on Shastra. That Rupa Goswami is showing here. Even though his definition, he doesn't need to give any support from the Shastra. Okay, but he is following the Shishtachar, the decent, appropriate behavior. Okay, so he gives this from Narad Pancharatra. What is Bhakti? Bhakti is defined as Bhakti Ruchyate what? Service to the Lord. Okay, like we had discussed earlier, Anyabhilashita Shunyam in that definition also. So there were four parts. Anyabhilashita Shunyam, first part. Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam, second part. Anukulyena, third part. Krishna Anushilanam, fourth part. Correct. So it should be done with favorableness. Anushilanam, it should be continuous service. It should be free of two adjectives were there. Okay, it should be free of ulterior motives, any motive other than pleasing Krishna, and it should not be covered by jnana and karma, etc. So these were the two adjectives, and then what was being adjectified, or what is the appropriate here verb is anushilanam. Shilanam is to practice. Correct. So practice of Uttama Bhakti, and it should be done favorably, like that was defined. So same thing is there in this definition also. So we will see one by one that how each of these sentences match with various aspects of Rup Goswami's definition. So service to the Lord, this is one aspect. Okay, using the senses. It should be done with the intention of pleasing the Lord. This is one aspect. Where is it mentioned in the Rupa Goswami's definition? Tatparatvena. Tatpar. In Hindi we say, or Marathi also there may be a word tatpar. Enthusiastically. To do something. Tatparta se karna. Okay. To want to do something enthusiastically. Tatpar. Tatparatvena. Okay. Free of other desires. Sarva upadhi vinirmuktam. All other ulterior motives given up. Correct. This was one of the aspect. And unobstructed by other processes. Jnana karmadi anavritam nirmalam. Correct. So these are the four aspects we will see. Jiva Goswami has matched them in the commentary. So he says Anyabhilashita Shunyam is matching with Sarva Upadhi Vinirmuktam. Okay. So to give up any ulterior motive, Sarva Upadhi free from all other desires. Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Correct. Okay. Here also it is. Okay. Here we can see Sarva Upadhi Vinirmuktam. Free of all other desires is what? Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Jnana karma adi anavritam. That is nirmalam. Okay. What is nirmalam? Unobstructed by other processes like jnana and karma. So this is one of the aspects. Then there is anukulyena. That is tatparatvena. Tatparta se karna. With enthusiasm, with favorableness, like that. Intention of pleasing the Lord. Tatparatvena. Then Krishna anushilanam. Rishikesha Sevanam. Rishikena means by the senses. Okay. With the senses. Whom? Rishik Esha, the master of the senses. Shevanam, to do service for him. Okay. Service for him is called Krishna Anushilanam. That is matched here. And then last is Bhakti Ruttama. That is said here Bhakti Uchyate. Like that. Okay. This is Narad Muni's definition. Okay, which actually is repeated in one sense by Rupa Goswami, but in a very, very particular way. We saw how there are very, very small, you know, details, nuances in the definition of Rupa Goswami, how he has used this word ita, what is the purpose, how he has used this word anukulyena. Okay, why did he not use anukulita, any other thing? Okay, so many other things. Why did he use the word anavritam? Why not shunyam here? Why shunyam here? Why not anavritam here? Correct. With favorableness. Why anushilan word only? Why not any other word? Okay, we saw cheshtaru, bhavaru, anushilan. It has two connotations, right? So, so many things Rupa Goswami actually gave the same definition, but much better way. Okay, that's why this definition of Rupa Goswami is accepted by all the sampradayas, all the Vaishnava sampradayas. They accept this as the standard definition of bhakti. Okay, that is the geniusness of Rupa Goswami. Okay. And then at the same time, he is also following the good behavior, the Shishtachar, that yes, what he is doing is quoted, he has quoted the previous Acharya, like Narad Muni, that see, my definition is not independent one. It is based on the previous Acharya, the scriptures. And then Rupa Goswami continues Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 13 to 15. So we are still discussing the introduction of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, NOD basically. So he quotes 13th verse, Ahetuki avyavahita ya bhakti purushottame Okay, this is the 13th shloka. Basically, this is a part of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3. Okay, chapter 27, 28. Does it come here? Okay, okay. The reference is not quoted, but Canto 3. Okay, Lord Kapila section. Yeah, please read.
These are characteristic of transcendental loving service to Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ya Bhakti Purushottame. It is without other desires, ahetukya, and it is not contaminated by karma or jnana, avyahita.
Yeah, so again, one more reference he is giving from Kapila Muni, who is Krishna himself, Bhagavan himself, his incarnation. That even Krishna also gives this kind of definition only what Rupa Goswami is saying by quoting the authority. He quoted the previous Acharya Sadhu, Narad Muni, then he is quoting Krishna himself, that he also has told a similar definition in Shrimad Bhagavatam, like that. So nothing he is giving of his independent thinking. Okay. Even though he is very much qualified to do so. So we should learn from this that how we should also not hear or speak from somebody who is not quoting from Shastra. We hear Prabhupada, he quotes every 2 to 5 minutes, he quotes one scriptural injunction like that. Then he quotes the next part of the same chapter and continuation verse basically. So these three verses are actually in continuation in Srimad Bhagavatam. So here in this verse also, he said that bhakti should be towards whom? Purushottama. Krishna Anushilam, right? Only towards Krishna. Okay. And what is the nature of that bhakti? It is ahetuki, without any other desire. Anya bhilashita, shunyam, and gyan karmadi anavritam. Same thing, avavahita. Okay, these two aspects are covered in this shloka. Then he goes ahead and says, Salokya sarishti shamipya, sarupya ekatvam apyuta, diyamanam na grihnanti, vina matsevanam janah. Yeah, please read.
In this type of bhakti, my devotees Janaha do not accept na grihyanti salokya sashti sarupya samipya or oneness with me salokya sashti samipya sarupya ekatvam. Even if I offer these liberations diyamanam api in preference to serving me vinamat
Yeah,
sevanam.
in this type of bhakti, which type of bhakti? Uttama bhakti. What happens? My janaha, my devotees, they do not accept because they don't have any ulterior motive. Ahetuki they are. Only they want what is pleasure of Krishna. Okay. So that kind of devotees, what they will also do, even though they may be given, they do not accept. What they are given? Five types of liberation. So earlier we were discussing how devotees are doing bhakti not for liberation, not for going back to Godhead, but for developing Krishna Prem. So he did, even though they are given Salokya, means the residence in the same planet of Krishna, Sarishti, same opulence, Sarupya, same form, Samipya, closeness, and Aikatvam, merging into Brahman. Okay. Even if I offer them, they do not accept. Especially, I offer these liberations to them, they will not accept, especially in preference to serving me. Means Vina mat sevanam. Vina means without. Okay. Mat sevanam, without my service. That is the simple meaning of this. Okay. So if they get an opportunity to serve me, that they will choose X. Okay. Instead of these five types of liberation. Or even if these five types of liberation are given, but there is no service, they will not accept. Like that. And then same section, the next shloka, it continues. Sa eva bhakti yogakhya atyantika udahrita. Yeah, please read.
This is called bhakti yoga and is declared as the highest object of human pursuit. Saiva bhakti yogato atyantika udavrita.
So now Kapila Muni is saying Sa eva bhakti. Whatever I told here before, Sa eva bhakti, that itself is called bhakti yoga. Sa eva bhakti yoga. Akhya, called. It's called bhakti yoga. Atyantika udahrita. Okay, what is this? This is Atyantika, means uh, highest, fullness. Okay. completeness, like that it is the Atyantika word. So like that he's saying highest object, okay, of human pursuit, of human endeavor. Okay, this is the highest object. Savai pumsam paro dharmo, like that he says in first canto, second chapter also, 16th verse. That that the savai pumsa, that itself is the pumsa means human beings, is highest. What is that highest? Paro dharma. Bhakti Yoga Adhokshaje. Bhakti Yoga towards Krishna is the highest pursuit of the living entity. Same thing is told here by Kapila Muni. Okay. What kind of Bhakti Yoga? Not a mixed bhakti like that. But which kind of bhakti? Ahetuki apratihata, uttama bhakti. Okay, that bhakti is highest. Like that is told by Kapila Muni. This is another reference Rupa Goswami has given for proving that what he is giving is not independent. Okay. Yeah, please read. Okay, this yeah, just matching, just yeah, we will read it. Yeah. Ahetuki,
Ahetuki.
yeah, I will continue this. Yeah. Ahetuki refers to Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Okay, that I already discussed. Avavita Gyan Karmadi Anavritam. Okay, without obstruction of Gyan and Karma. This also I told. Okay, without desire for attaining this. So Anyabhilasha, even for liberation, going back to God, it is absent in that devotee. Okay. And Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam is referred by this Vinamat Sevanam Janaha. So this is also Jiva Goswami has pointed out in his commentary that how each aspect matches with Rupa Goswami's definition. Vinamat Sevanam Janaha Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Sevanam Seva Anushilanam, like that. Okay. And Saiva Bhakti Yoga Kya Bhakti Uttama. This also I explained. Okay. This called Bhakti Yoga. Which kind of Bhakti Yoga? Ahetuki Avyavita Bhakti Purushottame. Like that. Yeah. Now we'll go to the next topic. Any questions are there on what we discussed till now? Okay. So if there are no questions, then we will go ahead. So why this section is coming? Six specialities of Bhakti. So because the 10th verse, Rupa Goswami told, actually here I will show this chapter. Basically, what is this chapter? This chapter is Samanya Bhakti Bheda Nirupakaha. That chapter which explains the general divisions of the bhakti. Okay, bhakti in general, basically. Samanya Bhakti Bheda. Okay, classifications of bhakti, Samanya Bhakti Veda, this whole wave basically. And this chapter, Samanya Bhakti, basically bhakti in general. So in the 10th verse, actually Rupa Goswami told that this, I will show in this chapter that how bhakti is the highest and it has very highest degree of qualities or highest degrees of characteristics also. Okay, so characteristics, what is the difference? Characteristics we discussed that which is never separated from the object at any time. I gave the example of a tiger having the stripes, black stripes. Okay, so the tiger or the tiger belonging to the cat family. Okay, it's a big cat. So these are the characteristics of bhakti. Okay, so they are never separated from bhakti. Okay, that term which was used there was, if you remember, two terms were used: primary characteristics, secondary characteristics. Okay, so the primary characteristics was a lakshana which is never separated from the object. Okay, like that. Okay, and secondary characteristics were also discussed there, but now what we are discussing is different from all those things. So what were those characteristics? That was anukulyena, anushilanam should be there, correct? Anushilanam should be with anukulyena, favorableness. That was primary characteristic. It should never be separated from bhakti. And secondary characteristics, gauna lakshana, was anyabhilashita shunyam, gyan karma dhenamritam, like that. And here what we are discussing is completely different from that. So please don't get confused with these six specialities. These are called specialities in Sanskrit. The Rupa Goswami has used the word Vaishishtyam. Okay. Vaishishtyam. Visheshta. We say na in Hindi or Marathi you may be saying Visheshta. Okay. So इस मंदिर की इस जगह की यह विशेषता है. Okay. This is a special thing about this place. Correct. So like that, what is the special thing in bhakti that other yoga systems don't have? And Why I'm separately saying about characteristics? Because these specialities are not like characteristics, which are never separated. Okay. This can be seen sometimes, and sometimes they may not be seen. Okay. So these are the specialities, special things about bhakti. Okay. Like that. So that was told in 10th verse. Rupa Goswami said, I will show this, and he is continuing the topic now. So what are these six specialities? First, he will name these six special things about bhakti. Okay. Sometimes also it is called qualities of bhakti. Okay, but a more appropriate translation is speciality, because qualities sometimes we may understand that they are never separated from a person like that, but speciality, okay, which may be not present at some time in a person. So he says, Klesha Gni Shubhada Moksha Laghuta Krit Sudurlabha Sandrananda Visheshatma Shri Krishna Karshani Chasa. Yeah, please read.
The unique specialities of bhaktis are BRS, Kleshagni, its ability to destroy suffering, Shubhada, its bestowal of auspiciousness, Moksha Lagutakrita, its disregard of liberation, Sudurlabha, its rarity of attainment, Sadhananda Visheshatma, its manifestation of concentrated bliss, Shri Krishna Karshani, its ability to attract Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. So these six are the special things about bhakti, okay, which may not be found in other yoga systems. Okay. And also to the extent which bhakti can give, basically the Uttama bhakti we are discussing. Okay, if you remember the last slide I showed, the six specialities of what? I said Uttama bhakti. Rupa Goswami is describing what? Uttama bhakti's specialities, not Madhyama bhakti, not Adhama bhakti or Mishra bhakti. Only Uttama bhakti. Okay, then what is the case with Mishra bhakti or other types of bhakti which are having very less quantity of bhakti or more quantity of bhakti? Mixture can be anything, right? Water in milk or milk in water. Both are mixture only. Correct. Both are Mishra bhakti and Uttama bhakti. So this what is being told is for Uttama bhakti. But at the end, Rupa Goswami will also comment about Mishra bhakti. That what is the case with Mishra bhakti. There he will describe what will happen with them. But now it is about Uttama Bhakti. Till the time he says that, yes, now Mishra Bhakti I am going to define. Okay. Not define, specify what are the degrees of speciality in them. So what are these? First he says Klesha Gni. Klesha means suffering. Okay. This is not Klesha Agni, fire of Klesha. Okay. This is Klesha and Gni. Okay. Gni is to remove or destroy, like that. Suffering is destroyed. So this is the first speciality of bhakti, that it destroys the suffering. Second speciality of bhakti is Shubha, means auspicious, auspiciousness, da, to give auspiciousness. Third, Moksha, liberation, Laghu, ta. Laghu, ta. Laghu means to make it small. Ta means to make it have, like we described, na, ness. In English, the suffix is just ness, like happiness, softness. So to give something a quality of that. Okay. Softness. Okay. Similarly, laghuta, to make it what we say, innate with laghu or smallness, like that, smallness. So it makes moksha with a inherent characteristic of being small, like that. Okay. So disregard for liberation. Anybody practicing bhakti will have disregard for liberation. And then sudurlabha. Sudurlabha, very simple meaning, is rarity, to find it or attain it. This is the fourth quality of, or sorry, speciality of bhakti. And fifth is Sandra Ananda Vishesha Atma. Sandra means condensed. Okay, Saghan. We say Saghan in Hindi. Anand means happiness. So very condensed happiness. Okay, very condensed form of happiness. Okay, so that is called concentrated bliss. Okay, Vishesh, of a special type. A very special type of concentrated happiness. Atma. Atma means it is made up of its. innate nature. Atma means that which is uh, it is made up of. Okay, like that. It is made up of. Okay, like that. Its form is made up of this very special concentrated bliss. Okay, and sixth, Shri Krishna Akarshini, because it is a feminine object. Bhakti is a lady. Akarshini, that's why. Okay. What it does, she attracts whom? Shri Krishna. This bhakti attracts Shri Krishna. Which bhakti? All these are characteristics of Uttama Bhakti. That's why Rupa Goswami first defined Uttama Bhakti. Then he is giving the specialities about this Uttama Bhakti. Okay, so this bhakti will have these six specialities. That means they may not be always present. Okay. So what is the meaning of that statement? So later Rupa Goswami will tell that these two, first two which are there, this happen at the stage of sadhana bhakti also itself. Okay, at the stage of sadhana bhakti itself, these two will appear. What destruction of suffering will happen, as well as auspicious qualities. Good qualities will also be developing in a devotee. Okay. Whereas moksha lagotakrit, to consider liberation as very, very insignificant, that will not happen at sadhana bhakti. Sadhakas theoretically may know, oh, no, 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 Brahman I don't want. I don't want to merge in Brahman. I don't want moksha. All these things are very theoretical for him. He doesn't know only what is the bliss of merging into Brahman. What is the bliss of overcoming all the difficulties of material world, that he does not know. So he is having that in theory only. That yes, I don't want moksha. So that, as well as sudurlabha, the very, very rare uh, attainment of bhakti is very, very rare. This is not the qualities of sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti many people practice, but these two especially occur at bhava bhakti. To consider moksha as very, very insignificant, sadhakas know it theoretically, but at the stage of bhava, practically one understands that pleasure what he is getting by Suddha Sattva Visheshatma, being in touch with the Suddha Sattva Vishesh Bhav. Okay, that will be described in the third chapter of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That bliss is highly incomparable to moksha. Okay, moksha is like one drop compared to the ocean of the enjoyment which the person gets at the stage of bhav. And then the last two are obtained only at the stage of prema bhakti. Okay, they don't appear before it. Okay. So what are they? Sandra Ananda Visheshatma, very, very highly special type of condensed bliss. Very special. That is attained only at the stage of prema bhakti. And as well as that which attracts Krishna is not other types of bhakti, or even in Shuddha bhakti, not sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, but prema bhakti is which attracts to Krishna highly. Okay. So these are the stages at which these specialities come in existence. Okay, we can say that manifestation of these qualities happen in stages. They already exist with Bhakti Devi, but how it is given to devotees at certain stage when he reaches. Okay, it's not created, because anything in Bhakti is not created. They are all eternal. So it's not created, but it is manifested at a certain time, like sun rises at a certain time. Like these qualities or these specialities of bhakti also rise and at certain time when devotee reaches these stages. So now if the question is asked at bhava bhakti which all specialities are developed, so all 1 to 4 are present. Sadhan bhakti which all are present, 1 and 2. Prema bhakti which all are present, all 1 to 6 are present. Okay, it's not that 5 and 6 come, so 1, 2, 3, 4 are absent in Prema Bhakti. Okay, not like that. They all become present. Okay, all these speciality exist at the stage of Prema Bhakti, like that. Okay. So this is the 17th verse of Rupa Goswami. In one verse, he has just told all the six special things about Bhakti. Okay, so now we will discuss the first special thing about Bhakti, that is Klesha Ghani, the ability to destroy suffering. Okay. So here he says in the next verse, kleshas to trividha. Okay. The klesha is three types. What are the three types? Threefold basically. In the sense that it manifests in three stages. Okay. Kleshas to trividha. Okay. What are they? He just write avidya, papam, and bijam obviously. Avidya, bijam, and papam. So klesha, suffering, is of threefold nature. What are they? First, papam, the sinful activity itself. Okay, like that. That will immediately give us suffering in its result. Bijam, after doing the activity, the person has a desire to again do that activity. That is called papa bijam. Okay. So this bijam we are calling as papa bijam. The seed or the desire for doing sinful activity again. That is called papa bijam. And avidya, and root cause of all this story of doing sinful activity and having the desire to do, the root cause of all of this is avidya. Correct. That is ignorance. Okay, so basically the first is avidya in the living entity. From avidya, what comes out is a desire to commit sinful activity or desire to enjoy illegally. Okay, against the principles of dharma. Okay, mentioned in the Dharma Shastra or Vedas, like that. And because of that desire, the person acts on them. So that is called papam, sinful activity. And when all this happen in stages, at the end he gets what is called suffering, fructification, the fruit of all this activity or desire or ignorance. Okay, stage by stage they convert into each one. Avidya converts into bijam, bijam becomes papam, and then papam leads to suffering. Okay. So this suffering we will see is of two types. Okay, it's mentioned here. The sinful reaction, basically, this suffering, the sinful reaction is of two types. Okay, what are they? First is aprarabdha, effects that are to be experienced in future lives. Okay, not in this life. Okay, and second, effects that are to be experienced in this life. Prarabdha. Okay. So very simple etymological, or what we say, the basic meaning root word is prarabdha. Aprarabdha is prarabdha. Arabdha is the main verb here. Arabdha means to start. Okay. आरंभ हो गया है उसका. Okay. Prarabdha. Prakrishta rupena arabdha. Okay. Very, very nicely we can see it that it has begun. That is called prarabdha. Okay. Arabdha. It has begun. Properly it has begun. So where did it begin? As soon as the soul reached the womb of the mother. Okay, as soon as the soul was in the womb of mother, prarabdha started. Okay, the suffering started. Okay, that is called prarabdha. Aprarabdha means applying a means not. That which has not properly begun. Okay, which has not started. What is that? That will happen in next life, not in this life, future lives. Okay, this is the meaning of aprarabdha, which has not yet started. Very simple meaning of aprarabdha. Okay. So basically, there is avidya, there is bijam, there is papam. Then after doing papam, one has to suffer that suffering. This fruit of phala is of two types. Okay. So this suffering is classified into two here. Okay. Yeah. Now Srila Prabhupada is commenting on this. Okay. Somebody else can read. Gayatri Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada on Prarabdha and Aprarabdha Karma. For example, a man may have committed criminal acts but not yet been arrested for them. Now, as soon as he is detected, arrest is awaiting him. Similarly, for some of our sinful activities, we are awaiting distresses in the future, and for others which are mature, We are suffering at the present moment. Example of prarabdha and aprarabdha. Mature sinful activities are exhibited if one is suffering from some chronic disease, if one is suffering from some legal implication, if one is born in a low and degraded family, or if one is uneducated or very ugly. Example of prarabdha karma.
So Prabhupada is giving this in the example. He says, prarabdha and aprarabdha, a man has committed some criminal activity. Okay, sometimes they escape also, right? Somebody killed somebody, and then there is no evidence to it. Okay, so then he may escape the legal implication. Okay, so this life then he is not being suffering, at least legally, and from the uh, police or from the laws of country. Okay, so he has not been arrested. So as soon as he is detected, okay, sometimes it takes 10 years, 15 years, 20 years for the evidence to come out and to be proved. So when he is proved that he is actually now criminal, then arrest will happen. Arrest is awaiting. Okay, he will be taken into remand, like that. Now, similarly, for some of our sinful activity, which we have committed earlier in this life or in the past life, the distress is awaiting. Okay, in the future. Future means what? In the next life, maybe. Okay, so that is counted as what? Aprarabdha. Okay, and those which are mature, which we will have in this life, that is called prarabdha, which are suffering. The suffering has already started. So Prabhupada gives one example of a disease, a chronic disease. This is which category? This is prarabdha, prarabdha karma. Or another example is some legal implication. That is also prarabdha. Already we are suffering in this life. Okay. Or another example, already a person is born in a low family, poor family, uneducated family, like that. Degraded family. Okay. These things are all already which have either happened or which is going to happen in this life only. Like that. Okay. Very simple understanding of prarabdha and aprarabdha. Yeah. Please continue. Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay. This is a verse. Okay, yeah. So few more comments Prabhupada will give after 21st verse, I think. Yeah. Okay. यथाग्निषु समृद्धार्चिः करोति एधांसि भस्मसात् तथा मदविषया भक्तिः उद्धव एनांसि कृत्स्नसः. So this is a proof for destruction of aprarabdha karma. So Rupa Goswami is giving a proof now. So what he said, bhakti does what? Klesha Agni. It destroys suffering. Suffering is what? Threefold. What are they? Avidya, first. Bijam, that is desire to do papa, desire to do sinful activity. And third is the sinful activity itself. And as soon as sinful activity is committed, immediately aprarabdha, prarabdha are created. So these are basically, we can say, four stages, we can say. Now Rupa Goswami will tell all this will be destroyed by bhakti. Everything will be destroyed by bhakti. Okay. So first he is telling the proof for the destruction of aprarabdha. That which has not yet manifested sinful reaction. Okay, it is already in the category of reaction, sinful reaction, but it has not fructified. That will be destroyed by bhakti. Example is from, sorry, proof is from 11th canto, whereas where Krishna is speaking to Uddhava in Uddhav Gita. Okay, yes, please read the translation.
My dear Uddhava, just a blazing fire burns to ashes all the fuel. Similarly, devotional service in relationship with me burns to ashes all the sinful reactions.
Yeah. So devotional service in relationship with me. Mad Vishaya Bhakti. Okay, what it does? Bhasmasat karoti. Bhasmasat karoti. Bhasma, like fire burns everything to ashes. Like that, what it does? Karoti bhasmashat, burns to ashes. What does it burn? So it burns the aprarabdha. Okay, Mad Vishaya Bhakti. So he is saying with an example actually here. Yeah. What is the example he is saying? Yatha Agni, just like fire. Okay. What it does? Susamriddha Archi. Archi means the flame. Okay. Susamriddha Archi. Susamriddha means blazing. Blazing flame is there. Okay. So blazing flame of the fire. Okay. What it does? Edha Amsi. This is the wood or any fuel, coal or anything which is having the inflammable nature. What it does? Karoti bhasmashat. It destroys to ashes that object. Tatha, similarly, Madhvishya Bhakti also burns to ashes. What? Kritsnasaha. Completely. Enamsi. All those which is sinful reaction. Okay. Completely it will burn to ashes. Okay. All sinful reactions. All completely, basically. Kritsnasaha. Okay. So with an example, Rupa Goswami has described that it will do. So here he is saying just like burning firewood is secondary. The purpose of burning the firewood is secondary to cooking and to make ashes. So two activities will happen by burning the firewood. One will happen is cooking. Second will happen is the production of the ashes. Okay. So the purpose of burning the firewood is to cook or is it to produce ashes? What is the purpose of burning the firewood? Yeah, burning the firewood, the purpose is to
Cook.
cook. Yeah, so that is the primary purpose. Similarly, the purpose of doing bhakti is to attain Krishna prem or do service for Krishna. But concomitantly, what will happen also is it will burn all the sinful reactions like aprarabdha, prarabdha, all kleshas, everything it will burn. But that is not the purpose of practicing Shuddha Bhakti, Uttama Bhakti. That is what the Rupa Goswami is indicating by taking up this example, particular example of firewood. He could have given so many examples which burn. But why has he taken this example is for this purpose. That the purpose of burning the firewood is to cook, to attain Krishna Prem, but not to destroy karma or burn the karma like that. Okay, that will happen anyhow. Automatically it will happen. That is just a secondary Anusangik karana, it is told. Anusangik means it goes along with. Okay, just like a big fish, when it catches some uh, thing to eat. So the small flesh particles actually go here and there. So other fishes which are there, they eat it. Okay, so Anusangik karana. There is a fish which actually goes below shark or some other big fishes. So as soon as the shark will catch something, the small fish also gets the benefit. Okay, like that. Anusangik karana. Okay. So this is another proof he is giving for burning or destroying prarabdha karma. Okay. Okay. Destruction of prarabdha. That which has already begun. Okay. That means what? What was the prarabdha karma? That which is like Prabhupada told, if you remember, having taken birth in a ugly body or taken birth in a degraded family or having some legal implications or having some disease, chronic disease. These all examples Prabhupada gave. Correct. So these are all prarabdha karma which already a person is having. Bhakti will destroy that also. Means his degraded birth as well as his all the negative aspects which he has carried since birth. that also bhakti will destroy. So is it bhakti going to give a new body suddenly? Is bhakti going to change his family in which he was born? What is the meaning of this? So he quotes this verse from third canto, very famous shloka. Yannamadheya shravananukirtanad yat prahvanadyas smaranad api kvachit swado api sadyah shravanaya kalpate kutah punaste bhagavannu darshanat. Yeah, please read.
To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face. Even a person born in a family of dog eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him.
So he said that just once, if one does, what he does, some activity of bhakti. Okay, what are those? Nama, dheya, shravana, anukirtanad, pravanad. These are all activities of bhakti. Okay. Okay, what he does, he just does once, kvachit. Okay. Who is this person? Swadaha api, a dog eater also. Okay. Even if a dog eater just once does some activity of bhakti, which activity of bhakti he says? Nam, dheya, shravana, anukirtana, pravana, all these things. Okay, uttering the holy name of Krishna, chanting his name, remembering the name. Okay, and smaranad. Okay, like that. If he does even once, this person who is a dog eater, what happens? He will become eligible for what? Performing Vedic sacrifices. Shavanaya. Shavanaya is basically Soma Yagya. Okay. Soma Yagya, which is done for going to heaven. Basically a Vedic sacrifice for going to heaven. So a person who was even born in a very, very degraded family, basically Swada here, it has a conventional meaning, which is degraded family. Okay, born in a family of dog eater, degraded family. Okay, just like we have this word mobile. Okay, so what is the meaning of the word mobile? Somebody may say that anything which moves from here to there is called mobile. Correct. But that is not the meaning which is conventional. Okay, that may be a etymological meaning which is derived from the word. But conventional meaning of mobile is what? Cell phone. Now, okay, currently in 2026 at least it is. After 50 years we don't know. Okay, but similarly, swadaha word has a meaning that who is eating dog. Swa adha. Adha means to eat. Swa means dog. One who cooks dog and eats. Swadaha. That is the meaning. But here basically the meaning is given in the sense of family, degraded family. Okay, that is conventional meaning. Okay. So that person also, even if he chants once only holy name, he will become the recipient or the eligibility of performing Vedic sacrifices. Means he will become like Brahmana. Like that this verse is saying. Okay. Now, Mother Devahuti is making a contrast to this whole statement what I explained till now. Even by doing these things, one will qualify to become a Brahmana. Then what to say? To say nothing of a spiritual advancement of persons who see the Lord face to face. That is even higher. If one sees Krishna face to face, then what to speak of doing Vedic sacrifices? He will be much more qualified. Like that, she is saying, Devahuti. Okay, this is the meaning of the verse. Okay, yes, please read Prabhupada comment on this.
As such, how is it possible that anyone actually engaged in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness has not become purified? It is not possible. One who is engaged in Krishna consciousness and devotional service has, without doubt, become free from all the contaminations of material sinful activities. Devotional service, therefore, has the power to actually nullify all kinds of reactions to sinful deeds. A devotee is nevertheless always alert not to commit any sinful activities. This is his specific qualification as a devotee.
Yeah, so we discussed earlier also how devotee actually doesn't want to commit any sinful activity. He may have a swabhava, contamination, conditioning by which he may do. But as such, it is not his nature to do sinful activity. By the force of previous habits, he may do. Okay. That too, not planningly, but by accident. So that same thing Prabhupada is saying here, that devotee, how is it possible that anybody who is actually engaged in or practicing bhakti in full Krishna consciousness has not become pure? It is not possible. He is certainly pure, like that Prabhupada is saying. Okay, same thing we read in that verse, apichet sudracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak. Correct, Krishna told that yes, he is pure in complete portion, not only where he does not do sinful activity like that. So anyone who is engaged in bhakti, without doubt, he has become freed from all contaminations of material sinful activity, basically. All prarabdha, everything is destroyed for him. Okay. So like Brahma Samhita also said, correct. So karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. Those who are doing bhajana in the bhakti path, karmani nirdahati is completely destroyed. His all karmas are completely destroyed. Okay. Same thing here is said. Devotional service therefore has the power to actually nullify all kinds of sinful deeds. Okay, whether it is prarabdha, aprarabdha, manifested, not manifested, everything will be destroyed. Yeah, please read.
The Srimad Bhagavatam states that by performing devotional service, a person who was born even in a family of dog eaters may become eligible to take part in the performance of the ritualistic ceremonies recommended in the Vedas. It is implicit in the statement that a person born into a family of dog eaters is generally not fit for performing yajna or sacrifice. Unless one is a Brahmana, he cannot perform these ceremonies.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is clarifying what is meant by the verse that by performing bhakti, a person who was born in a like degraded family, swadaha is meaning a dog eater family, degraded family, he will also become eligible to perform, take part in the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas. Swada api sadhya savanaya kalpate. Okay. He can do even shavana, soma yagya, all these kind of things. Okay. This is the eligibility given if he is qualified for bhakti. Prabhupada is saying it is implicit, it is inherent in the statement that a person born into a family of dog eaters is generally not fit. He is generally not fit for performing yajna or sacrifice or worshipping the deity or worshipping Shaligram Shila, touching the deity. Okay, anybody who is even born in a Shudra, he is not actually having the qualification to do this all Brahminical activities. He is not fit unless one is Brahmana. So bhakti basically can give him Brahmanatva, the quality of being a Brahmana. Until unless he gets that, he cannot perform these ceremonies. Correct. So bhakti will give him this quality. Yeah, please continue.
A person is born in a Brahmana family or in a family of dog eaters due to his past activities. If a person is born in a family of dog eaters, it means that his past activities were all sinful. But if even such a person takes to the path of devotional service and begins to chant the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, he is at once fit to perform the ritualistic ceremonies. This means that his sinful reactions have immediately become neutralized.
Yeah, so Prabhupada is concluding here that yannamatheya shravananu kirtanat yah pravanad smaranad api kvachit. Okay, swadopeshadya savanaya kalpate. Uta punaste bhagwan nudarshanat. So same thing, shloka what it said, he is now saying in paraphrasing the same thing. That one who chants your holy name even once, or he begins to chant, he will at once become fit immediately, become fit to perform ritualistic ceremonies. That is the power of bhakti. Okay. That was That is what verse is saying, and Prabhupada is concluding. Okay. That means his sinful reactions have been immediately neutralized by the power of bhakti. So, what is the sinful reaction referring to? Which sinful reaction is Prabhupada talking about? Is it which verse? The verse is saying in reference to what type of sinful activity? Which category?
Prarabdha.
Prarabdha, correct. So here he is saying about prarabdha, that which is to be faced in this life. Okay, that is destroyed. That's why he is qualified what? For performing even Vedic sacrifices like that. Okay, so this will be clarified some more by Jiva Goswami. We will read. Yeah, please read this commentary of Jiva Goswami.
By hearing or chanting the name of the Lord, or by bowing down to the Lord, or by remembering the Lord, the dog eater quickly destroys his prarabdha karmas of this life, which have produced his low birth and which prevent from him performing sacrifices. At the same time, by devotional act, he also attains the punya, which creates qualities suitable for performing sacrifices. However, a person, even if born as a Brahmana without bad birth, has the need of Vedic initiation with the Gayatri Mantra.
Correct. So Jiva Goswami is saying that surely by once chanting the holy name or performing any limbo bhakti, prarabdha karma will be destroyed. Okay. So that will all be destroyed, quickly destroyed. Prabhupada also said at once destroyed, like that. And then he says at the same time that bhakti activity which he is doing, not only the sinful karmas are destroyed, they will also give him certain qualities, those which are suitable for performing those sacrifices or Brahmanical activities, like doing deity worship, correct, touching the deity and touching the Shaligram Shila. Okay, like those Brahminical activities also, Bhakti will give him the qualities. Okay, we will see. Uh, Later it will come Shubhada, the second quality of Bhakti or second speciality of Bhakti, gives good qualities. Okay, even at the stage of Sadhana Bhakti. So it will create good qualities at the same time, destroy also two functions Bhakti is doing for him. First is destruction of Prarabdha as well as giving good qualities. Okay, removing the disqualification and giving the qualification. Both the things Bhakti is doing. Okay. However, a person if born in a Brahman as a Brahmana without bad birth has the need of Vedic initiation with the Gayatri mantra. So what? Yeah, this is a new point. What Jiva Goswami is saying. Yeah, that suppose a person is born in a Brahmana family. Now, is it that since childhood he is practicing, he is doing Vedic yajna? No. He is also given as initiation, Savitra Janma. Okay, Vedic initiation, second initiation basically. Correct. Or Upanayana, basically. Upanayana samskar is there. Correct. So that is given, then only he is eligible. It's given with the Gayatri mantra. Okay. Brahma Gayatri and others. So it's given, then only that Brahmana, even though he is born in that family, he was not qualified to do yajna since childhood, but only of this Upanayana samskar, Savitra Janma, he is qualified for second initiation. Is he qualified for the activity of Vedic sacrifice? Second initiation, I'm saying in the terms of our ISKCON. Okay, this initiation, which is Gayatri initiation, like that. So Jiva Goswami is making that point that it is not only in the case of those who are born in Chandala family or in the Swad, basically degraded family, that they need some initiation in bhakti activities. Those who are born in Brahmana family also need initiation to start this Vedic sacrifice. It's not only with those who are practicing bhakti that yes, they were made qualified. Brahmana people also, children are made qualified by particular initiation only. That is the point he is saying. Okay. Yeah, continue.
This produces in him the special birth necessary for performing sacrifices, Therefore, what has been stated in the verse is that the process of hearing, chanting, or remembering has the power to elevate even the dog eater by eradicating his prarabdha karmas. What then must be the power of seeing the Lord directly? What then must be the elevation of other persons not born so low? The verse's purpose is not to advocate his immediate performance of Vedic sacrifices.
So Jiva Goswami is saying this produces in him. In him means this Brahmana boy. Okay. Who was born in the Brahmana family. Okay. He got this Gayatri mantra, initiation, Upanayana. This is called a special birth. Second initiation. Okay. Second birth basically. First birth was from mother and father. And then second birth is from the Guru. This second birth was necessary for him to do sacrifice. Similarly, for a person who is born in a degraded family, also Vaishnava initiation is needed for doing this kind of sacrifices. That's what he is saying. Okay. Therefore, what has been stated in this verse is that the process of bhakti, any limb of bhakti, can elevate even a swada degraded person and it can eradicate prarabdha karma. That is the conclusion of this verse. That's what explained here. Okay. So what then, Kuta, what then should be Bhagavan to darshanat? What should be the power of seeing then, seeing Krishna like that? Okay. Yeah, read.
Similar statements are found elsewhere. Bhakti punati man nishtha swapakan api sambhavat. Devotional service fixed on me purifies even the dog eaters from the contamination of their low birth.
Yeah, so now Jiva Goswami is saying, see, Rupa Goswami is quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam. Correct. And he supports one more verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto. So, Mad Bhakti, sorry, Man Nishtha, Bhakti Punati. Okay, having faith or Nishtha in me, Punati, purifies. This Bhakti purifies. Whom does it purify? Swapakan. Swapaka. Pak means to cook. Swa means dog. Who cooks dog and eats. Even that person, if he has bhakti in me, that person is punati, purified. Api sambhavat. He is also purified and qualified. He is also qualified. Okay, like that. Hmm. So this is a proof from 11th canto. Okay. And then Rupa Goswami says this is the 22nd verse basically. Okay, next verse of Bhakti Samri Sindhu. So Rupa Goswami is saying this is his verse. Previous verse was from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yannamadheya Shravananukuritana. That was from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is 22nd verse which he has composed. So he is explaining the previous verse. Okay. Durjatir eva savana ayogyatve karanam matam durjati arambhakam papam yatsat prarabdham eva tat. Okay, Nimai Rajendra, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Direction.
It was understood that the low birth of the dog eater is the cause of disqualification for performing sacrifices. The sinful reactions by which he attains such low birth in this life is called the prarabdha sin.
Yeah. So he says it was understood previously from the previous verses that low birth, swadaha, of the dog eater is the cause of disqualification. Correct. He was born in a low family, so he was not qualified to do Savana, Vedic sacrifices. Correct. So Durjati Reva, Durjati he only, Savana Ayogyatve was making him unqualified, Ayogya. Karanam Matam, this is the reason. Okay, now he says next line. The sinful reaction by which he attains such low birth in this life is called prarabdha sin. Why did he attain this low birth is because of prarabdha. Durjati arambhakam papam yatsyat prarabdham evatat. Okay, this durjati, why was it there in the first place? was because of his papa in the past lives. Okay, that itself is called prarabdha, that which has already begun. If you remember, Prabhupada also told that some chronic disease, legal implication, or then he told ugly body, or he told as a low birth or degraded family, birth in a degraded family. Okay, these all are prarabdha. So Rupa Goswami is saying that this bhakti, it destroyed this prarabdha just by once chanting, reading, hearing, like that. Okay. Okay, so this is explained by Jiva Goswami in the commentary. Yeah, please read.
This verse, starting with Durjatir Eva, explains how the previous verse illustrates removal of prarabdha karma, the cause of being disqualified for sacrifice. uh, Savana yogyatve api karanam is a low birth, uh, durjati, only in the sense that it produced the sinful nature which is not favorable for being qualified for sacrifices. Low birth or durjati is not the sole cause of his disqualification for sacrifice. For even those born in Brahmana families without bad qualities are not qualified. Even those of high birth must attain additional qualification. They must undergo the second birth, which gives them a special purity, which makes them qualified for performing sacrifice.
So very simple. Jiva Goswami is saying very simple logic that now Rupa Goswami is giving a verse to explain the previous verse that prarabdha karma is destroyed. Okay, that is in verse 4. That is the context of the verse. Then he's saying very simple logic. Okay, so the cause of being disqualified for this swadah, or those who are born in the family of dog eater, what was the reason of disqualification? It is in the sense that it is produced the sinful nature, okay, which is not favorable for being qualified for sacrifice. Correct? They should have Brahminical nature, basically. Correct? It's not Brahminical nature. Okay, not a Brahmana. He was having sinful activities. So Bhakti, what it did? Removed the sinful nature, na? Okay. Now he understand I should not commit sin. Correct? So sinful nature was destroyed. The tendency to commit sin itself was destroyed by Bhakti. So it destroyed prarabdha karma in that way. His birth might not have changed. He may have same father, mother. He may have the same body, but his tendencies in the body have changed now. That is the work of bhakti. It did. And he says very simple logic. Even that person who was born in a Brahmana family, he was also not having bad qualities, but at the same time, he was not doing the yajna from his birth. He also was given second birth, Upanayana Samskar, to perform sacrifice. Correct. He also was not born with a Brahman thread, basically. Okay. Since mother's womb, he did not have a Brahman thread. He was given later only. Like that, he is saying. Similarly, this person also had sinful nature, which was removed by bhakti. So he is also qualified. Okay. I hope this understandable, this logic. Okay. Okay. So this is a very big commentary. So basically, the point is that bhakti removes prarabdha karma. Okay. And one more, basically, here he gives Vishwanath Thakur is giving a reference from 10th canto. Okay, so this is little diversion from the topic that even bhakti destroys suffering of a devotee. So if he suffers, basically the person, somebody may ask basically, okay, you are telling prarabdha karma is all destroyed, no? Aprarabdha also you told it is destroyed. So tell me one thing, why are the devotees suffering? Then all these people who are doing bhakti should not have any chronic disease, should not have any problem in life, correct? Na? You should apply your proof to practicality also, not write in books only. They should also not suffer, correct? That is basically Vishwanath Thakur has taken up that topic. Okay, so that's why he's saying if practice of bhakti removes all suffering, why do I see devotees suffering? They are just like normal people. They are also killed in bomb attacks. Krishna should have saved them, na? Except devotees, everybody died. It should have happened like that. But we don't see like the devotee also die, non-devotee also die. Either Krishna forgot to protect them. What is happening here? That is the question raised. So he says devotee's happiness is due to his practice of bhakti, it's not punya karma. It's not coming as punya karma that devotee is feeling some happiness in bhakti. Or even if suffering also is not by bad karma. It is personally given by Krishna to them. So for that he says, okay, good statement, very nice. Is there any proof? He says, yes, 10th canto, 88th chapter, there is a proof. Yasyaham anugrinami harishe tadhanam shanay tato adhanam tajantyasya swajanas dukkha dukkhitam. So if I very, very nicely favor somebody, if I am very, very favorable to somebody, okay, what will happen to them is I will gradually take away, deprive them of his wealth. हरिष्ये तद्धनम, उसके धन को slowly सनेह I will take away. Anugrinami, I will accept basically. I will take away. Okay. Whom? Yasya aham. Upon whom? I am anugrinami, means I am merciful, like that. Okay. Yeah. Harishe. Harishe is to take away. Sorry. Harishe tadhanam. I will take away. Then what will happen? Tato. Then adhanam. He will become moneyless, penniless. Then what will happen? Swajana. People will see, array, this person does not have any money. If we go to his house also as a guest, he will not be able to serve anything except water. So, Tejanti, he will be given up. By whom? Swajana. No money, you are no more honey. Like that. So, Dukkha Dukkhitam. Then he will become more and more uh, filled with sorrow. Okay, like that. He suffers one after another distress. This is for whom? Non-devotee or devotee? Whom Krishna is saying? For which person is this?
Devotee.
Devotee.
Yeah, devotee, obviously a very special devotee. Especially Krishna is favoring now. Okay, very especially, like Prabhupada also told, when Krishna especially favored me, then he took away everything, my family, my business. And Prabhupada quoted this very same verse, Yasyaham anugrinami harishe tadhanam shanaya. Krishna took away everything, my business, whole medical business was burnt into ashes actually. Actually, there was fire. And then wife told, I want tea, not me, tea or me. So my wife told tea. So it's all arranged by Krishna like that. Okay. That's how. So he is basically saying this. So we will just read through. I will not explain because it's not main topic of this one. So yeah, yes, bro. Please continue reading. Nimai Rajan.
A man suffers misery because of loss of wealth. He suffers further because of rejection by his relatives because he is poor. This suffering, being given by the Lord, is not the result of karma. Even the happiness given to the Lord's devotees is not the result of karma, but rather an unrequested result of bhakti.
Yeah, unrequested result. It's not that Krishna wants them to suffer or devotee requested, like Kunti Maharani, give me suffering every moment. Devotees generally don't pray like that, but still they suffer. They get suffering. Yeah, continue.
The happiness and distress which appear to be prarabdha karma are given by Lord Himself. The Shrutis say, Bhavad Uttha
Shubha
Shubha
Ashubhayo.
Shubha Ashubhayo. When a person realizes you, uh, he no longer cares about his good and bad fortune arising from pious and sinful acts, since it is you alone who controls this good and bad fortune.
Yeah,
Bhagavatam,
so
10th canto,
yeah,
it
see
is chapter.
reference from Srimad Bhagavatam. So somebody may say, Arey, this should be somebody very elevated person, na prema stage, na for whom actually Krishna is destroying karma. If Krishna has to destroy karma for that level of devotee, it will not be quoted in this section of sadhana bhakti. Kleshagni. Kleshagni is for whom? Sadhaka bhakta or bhava bhakta. Kleshagni is happening for sadhaka. Okay, later also he will give proof. This whole thing is described in third chapter of Madhurya Kadamini, which is Anath Nivritti chapter. Okay. So Anath Nivritti is for whom? Sadhaka or Siddha? Sadhaka, obviously. Anath Nivritti is happening. So this is the whole thing described there. So he is saying that happiness and distress which is coming is not due to Prarabdha Karma. Prarabdha Karma already destroyed. Now he is getting what is by me directly. Yeah. How? Okay, if this is true, I accept. So how can the Lord, who is so affectionate to his devotee, okay, so he says so many places that they are swajana, majjana, they are my people, like that he says. So how can he make them suffer like that? That is the question. Yeah, please read.
The father, though affectionate to his sons, gives them the austerity of studying by taking away their sources of enjoyment. The father knows that the action is a sign of his affection, though the son does not appreciate it at that time.
Yeah, so very simple examples. The son may feel like suffering, suffocated, but father knows what is good for him. So the next question comes, okay, understood. He is like the father. So as the experience of happiness, of suffering, either coming from karma or directly from the Lord is similar, correct? Whether Krishna gives or comes from punya karma. How do we understand which one is given by which whom? A devotee suffers. How do we know Krishna is giving or karma is acting? Which one it is? How to know? What distinguishes them? Yeah, please read.
Even though experiencing happiness or suffering arising from karma, therefore finishing with the effects, a person still maintains the seed or desire, the cause which will produce further happiness and suffering. The cause is desire for enjoyment.
Yeah, so if suffering or happiness is given by karma, this hallmark will be there. What is the hallmark? He will have the tendency to do that good activity again or that bad activity again if it is given by karma. Okay. The person may suffer, but again he will want to do same thing. That is the hallmark of suffering given by karma. Okay.
That seed continues and produces more suffering. According to the degree of karma or sin, the person experiences a certain degree of happiness or suffering, even to the extent of falling to hell. Thus, there are three qualities of karmic sufferings.
Yeah. So anybody getting karmic suffering will have three hallmarks. Yeah. What is the first one? Read.
Even though experience of happiness and distress destroys the karma, the desire is not gone. That desire leads to more action, which lead to further happiness and distress. The distress many times can even be extreme hellish suffering.
Yeah. So remember these three. Now Vishwanath Jadavkar will tell when bhakti gives suffering or happiness, what will happen? Okay. This will not be like this. First, happiness and distress, they will be again coming. Desire is not gone. He will do it again. And they can fall to hell also. Like that. Hellish suffering also. Yeah. Read.
The suffering included by the Lord Himself, however, is by His desire alone, not by Jiva's desires. That is the seed, and the seed lasts only as long as necessary for the Lord's purpose and no longer.
Yeah, so Lord, if he has given suffering, na, then he will not contain with the desire that yes, I will do this sinful activity again. That seed will not last. That seed will be destroyed by Krishna. Okay. Swapadamulam bhajata priyasya. So in that shloka he says that vidhunoti. Okay, I will destroy everything. And obviously we are reading this section only. Prarabdha, aprarabdha, everything is destroyed. Okay, so this is a reference he gives. Okay. Yeah, continue.
From this, it is understood that for the devotee suffering because of the Lord, there is no fall to hell. Because of the affection of the Lord for his devotee, the Lord does not give them extreme suffering.
Yeah, so karmic reactions can give hellish sufferings for non-devotee, other people. But for devotees, Krishna will never give hellish suffering, extreme suffering. Okay. Like a father will never give to his son hellish suffering like that. Hmm. Only till the time he gets rectified. Yeah, read this. You are on mute.
The suffering induced by the Lord Himself is by His desire alone, not by Jiva's desires. That suffering lasts only as long as necessary for the Lord's purpose and no longer. Because of the affection of the Lord for His devotee, the Lord does not give them extreme suffering.
Yeah, so these are exactly opposite what karma did. What karma did? It made them suffer also, but the Jiva's desire was not gone. But here Krishna removed the desire. He cleaned the heart. Nashyami atma bhavastho jnana deepena bhasvata. Correct. 10th chapter, 11th verse. Yeah. He says that I myself situated in the heart cleans all the bad and good desires. Like the good means punya karmas basically. Then he says that suffering lasts only as long as necessary. Like father, only the son rectifies that there is no suffering. And then he does not give hellish suffering, extreme suffering that you will suffer in hell. He never gives like that, Krishna. Okay. So this way we can distinguish whether my suffering is karmic or my suffering is by Krishna, like that. Yeah, continue.
The suffering arising from karma and the Lord are like the suffering arising from receiving a beating from an enemy and one's mother. One is like poison, another is like nectar.
Yeah, so mother's beating is like nectar. Why? Because we will not understand today, but after 10 years, 15 years, we will thank mother for giving us appropriate punishment like that. And enemy, that is like poison. Okay, they don't want our benefit. Mother wants only our benefit like that. Okay. Now the main question is that, okay, understood everything, your philosophy of your Krishna, I understood. Now, if he is God, can't he fulfill his purpose without giving suffering to devotees? Why he is acting like materialistic mother and father? He is Krishna, na? He is very devotional person. He is God. Let him fulfill his purpose without giving suffering. Why to make them suffer? Let them be happily enjoying and come back to Godhead. That is the question by the opposition. Yeah, please read.
It will not be fulfilled. He gives suffering to his dearmost, which ultimately results in happiness, like applying stinging ointment to the eye.
So he is saying first thing. What you are saying will not happen. Why? Because without suffering, his purpose will not be fulfilled. Example, applying ointment, stinging ointment to the eye. Sometimes, basically, eye in the old times used to have night blindness. Okay. So then the person would be pierced into the eye with shalaka. Gyananjana shalakaya we say, na? So there will be a pin on which there will be an ointment applied. That pin will be pierced into the eye to apply the medicine inside so that the night blindness was gone. So that's why we say Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya. So that example here Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving that pain will be there of piercing the needle. Okay, so without piercing the needle, the medicine cannot go inside. So without this pain or suffering, okay, my purpose will not be fulfilled. That is what Krishna is saying. Why? What is purpose? Ultimate happiness. Ultimately, he should be happy, that devotee. That will not happen without giving suffering, he's saying. Yeah, read this.
In order to preserve the secret of bhakti, to avoid uprooting the opinions of the speculators and smartas, to increase the longing of his devotees.
Yeah, so please remember these three. This slide is very important. So whenever you get any suffering in life, so understand that it's happening because of one of these reasons by which Krishna is doing. Either he is trying to preserve the secret of bhakti. Suppose today it happens that a bomb was thrown in certain place and except these five devotees, everybody else died. Then what will all people start doing in the world? Hey, beat back kidhar hai, jaldi lao. Mala kidhar hai. Immediately they will start acting as a devotee. Dhoti kurta kharido turant. Okay, so everybody will start acting as a devotee. Because I should not get suffering. Because we heard that five people who were wearing dhoti kurta, then they did not die. Except everybody died. Okay, so people will falsely start practicing bhakti and showing, I am also devotee. I chant. We don't see you chanting. I chant in night, Prabhuji. Like this, they will start telling. So he is protecting the secret of bhakti. That devotee also suffer. See, they are also suffering. They are also going to doctor. They are also having death. Or they suppose it starts happening that devotees are not dying. Only non-devotees die. So what will happen? Devotees then we will not have any enough prasad for the feeding the people in the form of devotees. So these all secrets of bhakti are protected by giving suffering to devotee. Okay. First reason. Second is avoid uprooting opinions of whom? Speculators and brahmanas. They say, अरे भक्ति करने से क्या होता है? कुछ नहीं होता है. देखो ये लोग भी अभी तक डॉक्टर के पास घूम ही रहे. So like that, they also their opinion also should not be uprooted. Otherwise, their marg or their path will be completely zero followers. Okay. And they will be able to comfortably practice their faith, whatever they have. Krishna says, even if you want to become a demon, I only give you the determination. Okay. So to increase the longing of his devotee, this is the main purpose. This is the important part. All others are external. This is internal part. to increase the longing of devotees. Somebody may ask, why did Krishna leave the gopis and go to Mathura and Dwarka? Same answer. Okay, to increase the longing of his greatest devotees, like that. Yeah, please read.
Moreover, if I make the devotees always happy, then there would be no avatars such as Krishna and Ram, since they come to protect the devotees and destroy the demons. And if the avatars did not come, how could there be playing of devotees in the sweet ocean of pastimes such as Ras Leela?
Yeah, so paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga yuga. Paritranaya sadhunam. So I should protect the devotees. Okay, so how will I protect if there is no difficulty? They are always happy. How will I come then? Okay, so I mainly come to protect the devotees, but devotees are never in danger. So I am endangered. I am not having any avatar now, like that. Okay, so he is saying for that purpose, but that is only external reason. Main reason is to increase the devotees' longing. Okay, yeah. Okay, now final question. He is saying, understood everything, all your philosophy, I understood your Krishna's philosophy also. But is it a fault? Okay, this person, he may say, is it not a fault? Lord comes without having to deliver the devotee from suffering. Can he not take avatar without having given suffering to your devotees? Okay, can't he come without all devotee suffering? Or sorry, come without the devotee suffering at all. So that means there is a restriction on Krishna himself that I cannot take avatar without you suffering. That means he is not Bhagavan. This is the objection. That means you are incomplete. Okay, let's see what is the answer given. Yeah.
Oh, brother, you are indeed not familiar with rasa. Just listen. The sunrise appears splendid because of the darkness. In the summer, coolness is pleasant, and in the cold season, warmth is pleasant.
He is giving a blunt answer. You don't know anything about rasa. Okay, just listen now. Don't speak like that. Yeah.
In the darkness, a lamp appears splendid rather than in the light. Food tastes delicious when there is suffering from hunger. There is no need to elaborate more.
Yeah. So he's giving the examples. In winter, we want warmth, like that. Opposites he is giving. So the food tastes very, very delicious when we are hungry, like that. Any food it tastes delicious. Yeah.
The truth is that the Supreme Lord, the greatest benefactor of his devotees, purposely inflicts suffering on his devotees just to increase their humility and yearning for him. Thus, the devotees' woes are not because of fruitive reactions, nor are they reactions of prarabdha sins.
Yeah. So this is a part of the third chapter, Madhurya Kadamini, the chapter on Anartha Nivritti, basically. So Vishwanath Thakur is saying that devotee suffering is not because of the fruitive reactions. Okay. So Krishna himself purposefully inflicts suffering to increase their humility and yearning. So this is the main reason why devotees may suffer. So if we get some suffering, so we should understand it's either because of our aparadh, that also he will tell later, which we may have committed to some devotee to increase our humility or to increase our longing for Krishna. Okay, so that was a section about how Krishna destroys prarabdha, aprarabdha, bhakti destroys everything, but still devotees may suffer. We may see. Okay. So 23rd verse, he is saying now from Padma Puran, aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham krameneva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. Okay, somebody else can read now. Yeah. Vrajananda Krishna Prabhu, you want to read?
Certainly. For those engaged in bhakti to Vishnu, step by step, the prarabdha, putta, bija, and prarabdha karmas are destroyed. Padmapuran.
Yeah, yeah. So, so what is destroyed is he is saying proof for whatever he told na till now. See, prarabdha, everything will be destroyed. All the parts of fruits, basically. So if you remember, he told avidya. Then there was papa bijam, the desire to do papa. And there was papa, or sinful activity, basically. This led to fruits or suffering. And these are two types, aprarabdha and prarabdha. This is what was described till now. Okay. And Rupa Goswami said, see, these all things will be destroyed by bhakti. And automatically this also will be destroyed. Okay, this is called Kleshagni. This is the topic. So now he is saying this part, these fruits, aprarabdha, prarabdha, all these things. Okay, not about this. This part is taken up in this shloka to give proof. Okay, aprarabdha, prarabdha, and in between there are some things. Okay, what are those two things? They are called kuta and bija. Okay, first is bija here, that becomes kuta, and then becomes prarabdha. So I will write here aprarabdha. So here you can see the sequence. Okay, aprarabdha, then kuta, then bija, then prarabdha. Okay, this is a sequence. Aprarabdha becomes kuta, kuta becomes bija, and this bija becomes prarabdha. This bija name is karma bija. We are giving the name karma bija because we should not get confused with this papa bija. This is different. Okay, this was the desire to commit sinful activity, papa bijam we are calling it. And this is karma bija. The activity, basically this karma will become now prarabdha in next life. Okay, this is karma bija, the seed of suffering, prarabdha, which is going to fructify. So these are all part of suffering. Okay, these are all part of the suffering coming from पाप. Like we say ना, बहुत पाप किया है. So that पाप जो किया है, that पाप means here activity which he did. Like that. So this papa is that sense which is going to cause us suffering. That suffering is having aprarabdha, then it becomes kuta, then it becomes bija, then finally it becomes manifest as prarabdha. This is sequence. So now he is quoting from Padma Puran that kramena eva praliyeta. This all will be sequentially destroyed. Okay, these all will be sequentially destroyed. So how it will be sequentially destroyed? What will be destroyed first? First destruction will happen of prarabdha. Second will happen of bija. Third will happen of kuta. Fourth will happen of aprarabdha. The translation is incorrect here. Okay. So actually translation is opposite. First is aprarabdha. Oh no, yeah, I corrected it. Yeah, correct. Prarabdha, kuta, bija, prarabdha. Yeah. So this is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I said. Yes. Prarabdha is correct. This translation is opposite of what is written. Yeah, correct. So kramena eva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti radatmana. First Phalavamukha will be destroyed. Yeah. So this translation should be opposite order. Okay. So this is the correct order. First prarabdha will be destroyed. Then bija. Okay. This will be mentioned in commentary. Then third kuta will come. Then last aprarabdha will be destroyed. Okay. Yeah. Please read Prabhupada's comment.
He stated in the Padma Puran that there are four kinds of effects due to sinful activities, which are listed as follows: the effect which is not yet fructified, the effect which is lying as seed, the effect which is already mature, and the effect which is almost mature. It is also stated that all these four effects become immediately vanquished for those who surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu and become engaged in his devotional service in full Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is saying in his own terminology, these four things only. Okay. So which is almost mature is what? Four things we told here. Prarabdha, bija, kuta, aprarabdha. These four things are there. I explained also. So now you have to identify which one is which. So what is this? The effect which is almost mature, which is already mature, which is lying as a seed, and which is not yet fructified. Okay, we will come to this. Prabhupada will explain this with an example. Where is that example of the disease? Yes, it will come ahead. Okay. So we will come back. So for 24th verse, Rupa Goswami is quoting a reference now, proof or the reference for bhakti destroying sinful desires, papa bija. Okay, destruction of papa bija. So again to clarify, this papa bija is not the bija told in last verse. Okay, last verse here we had a bija. This is karma bija, which is part of the suffering. Now what Rupa Goswami is telling in 24th verse will be papa bija, which is this here. Okay, which is coming from avidya. Which is coming from avidya, which is not part of suffering. It is a desire for doing sinful activity. Okay, that is what he is saying in 24th verse here. Tayastani aghani puyante tapo dana vratadibhi na dharmajam tad hridayam tad api ishangri sevaya. Yeah, please read.
Although one may neutralize the reactions of sinful life through austerity, charity, vows, and other such methods, these pious activities cannot uproot the material desires in one's heart. However, if one serves the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is immediately freed from all such contamination.
So this karmic activities which you are saying, Sukdev Goswami, they will not actually neutralize the sinful life. That's like elephant taking bath. Okay, sixth canto. Like that he says. But what will happen is, sorry, this is Sukdev Goswami saying. First chapter, Parikshit Maharaj said to Sukdev Goswami. Now second chapter, Sukdev Goswami is saying to Parikshit Maharaj that however, if one serves the lotus feet of the Lord, immediately he is freed from all such contaminations. What we are talking about? Talking about desire, papa bij, desire to commit sin. That is destroyed. Okay, this is not anything about prarabdha, aprarabdha. This is about desire. See here, what is the word used? Material desire. Okay, they will be uprooted. Yeah, please read this.
By performing Vedic ritualistic activities, by giving money in charity, and by undergoing austerity, one can temporarily become free from the reactions of sinful activities, but at the next moment, he must again become engaged in sinful activities. For example, a person suffering from venereal disease on account of excessive indulgence in sex life has to undergo some severe pain in medical treatment, and he is then cured for the time being. But because he has not been able to remove the sex desires from his heart, he must again indulge the same thing and become a victim of the same disease.
Yeah, so Prabhupada is giving two examples. First, he is saying that performing Vedic ritualist activities by giving some money, charity, like that. And sometimes he gives the example of person going to the church and giving a charity to overcome all the sinful activity he did in this week. Okay, or he undergoes some austerity. So temporarily, by doing all this karma and jnana activities, temporarily one overcomes the sinful activities and the reactions. But again, because the desire is not gone, papa bijam, the desire to do papa is still there. The karma and jnana could not destroy papa bijam. Again, they indulge into sinful activity. Okay. Only bhakti destroys this. Another example is of a venereal disease. Prabhupada, yes, person is cured, then again he engages in the same thing. Okay. Yeah.
So, medical treatment may give temporary relief from the disease of such venereal disease, but unless one is trained to understand the sex life is abominable, it is impossible to be saved from such repeated distress. Similarly, the ritualistic performances, charity and austerity, which are recommended in the Vedas, may temporarily stop one from acting in a sinful way. But as long as heart is not clear, one will have to repeat sinful activities again and again.
So Prabhupada is saying this, that until and unless he is training is done to understand that sex life is abominable. You will again get this disease, excessive indulgence into it, like that. So till that time he is suffering again and again. And then he comes to the point of the shloka. Taistani aghani puyante tapo dan vrata adi bhi. This all tapa, vrata, dana, adi bhi, etc. All these things you may do. Okay. So they are recommended in Vedas for temporary stoppage, but not that the desire in the heart is destroyed. That will be still there and he will commit the same activity, sinful activity again and again. Okay, like that. But Tadapi Shangri Sevaya, if one does Angri Sevaya of Isha, of Krishna, then this will be destroyed. That is what this verse said. Yeah, please read this. Just 1 minute.
Another
Getting one
example
call.
given is in the
1 minute. Yeah.
Bhagavatam
1 minute. I'm
concerns the
getting one
elephant.
call. 1 minute. I'm getting a call. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Continue.
Another example given is in the Bhagavatam concerns the elephant who enters into the lake and takes a bath very seriously, cleansing his body thoroughly. Then, as soon as he comes out the shore, and he again takes some dust from the earth and throws it over his body. Similarly, a person who is not trained in Krishna consciousness cannot become completely free from the desires for sinful activities.
Yeah, so Prabhupada concludes here. Same thing what Parikshit Maharaj was saying. Manye kunjara sochvat. Okay. So again, he will become unclean because the desire, the papa bija is still there to commit sinful activity. That is not destroyed by the other paths. But by doing bhakti, one will become completely free from even the desire. Previously, prarabdha, everything was destroyed. It was told. Now, desire also is removed. This also told. Now, what is only remaining? Avidya. Correct. Avidya. Okay, let me go back to that slide. Okay, here. Yes. So, avidya, papa bijam, and papa. So, papa, sinful activity gave rise to all the fruits, prarabdha, etc. That was destroyed. Proof was given previously. So, this is done. Papa bijam, just now we saw. Correct. Tadapi Shangri Sevaya, only by doing bhakti, this desire also will go away. Last, what is remaining in Klesha is avidya. This destruction also, he will quote a verse now. Yeah. So this is 25th verse. Bhakti destroys avidya. Yat pad pankaj palasha vilasha bhaktya karmashayam gratitamudgrathayanti santah tadvanna riktamatayo yatayo piruddha shroto ganastamaranam bhaja vasudevam. Yeah, Pratik, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. The
You
devotee,
read no, earlier?
yes, I read,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
okay. Santosh Bro, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. The devotees, Santa, by actions of service, Vilas Bhaktya to the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, Yat Pada Pankaja Palasha, can very easily overcome Udrigananti, the knot of ignorance carrying unlimited impressions of karma, tied tightly by action, karmashayam granitam. Because this is very difficult, Tadvat. The empty-minded non-devotees, the jnanis and yogis, Rekta although trying to stop the flow of sense activities, cannot do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva.
Hmm. So he is saying if you engage in the devotional service of Krishna, then what will happen? All this flow of sense activities Okay, so basically, which are affecting the jnanis, yogis, all this, and other non-devotees. Okay, these are very difficult to overcome. You can very easily overcome. Udgrathyanti. Okay. Who? Santaha. Udgrathyanti. Santaha. Those who are devotees. Like that. How they will overcome? Yat pada pankaj, lotus feet, palash, vilasa, bhaktya. So by doing bhakti unto the lotus feet, actions of service unto the lotus feet of the Lord, कर्म आशयम ग्रथितम उद्ग्रथयन्ति. कर्म आशय, कर्म की जो इच्छा है, आशय मीन्स, आशा मीन्स इच्छा, बेसिकली आशय. So that itself will be destroyed. Udgrathayanti will be destroyed. Okay, like that. So here he said destruction of avidya. The root cause, that is ignorance, will be destroyed. Yeah, please read.
Though bhakti destroys avidya, this destruction happens only at the stage of bhava. This is illustrated in the series of verses starting from Srinvatam Katha Krishna.
Yeah, so this particular destruction of avidya, this will happen only at the stage of bhava. What is the reference? The reference is 1 to 17 to 21. Basically, that series of shloka. Tada rajastamo bhava kam lobhadayasche chetetanavidham sthitam. Okay, so that we will see now. Sthitam sattve prasidati. So basically, what we described till now is destruction of aprarabdha, prarabdha, and in between kuta and bija, as well as pap bijam. This all we discussed. Now, last avidya which we are discussing, this is going to happen at the stage of bhava. Aprarabdha, prarabdha happens at the stage of sadhana itself. And this gradually happens as one goes from sadhana to bhava. Okay, the desires, okay, it will destroy gradually, and they will be converted into spiritual desires. Okay, like asakti at the stage of ruchi, interest in bhakti activities and Lord, like that. Okay, so these are the sequence of the verses. So first, the verse Srinvatam Swakatha Krishna indicates the stage of Shraddha to Anarth Nivritti. Okay. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu. Okay. That verse he is saying. Okay. Prayeshu Abhadreshu. Okay. That will be destroyed. Then he's saying, oh yeah, here it is. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu. So, with continuous hearing of Krishna Katha, one then reaches the stage of steady practice of devotional service. Okay, when the Nashta Prayashu happens, almost. So Prabhupada in one lecture he says like 75% of the anartha is destroyed, or anartha nivritti happens. 75%. Then one reaches to the stage of nishtha. It's not that 100% has to happen. Then one will reach to the stage of nishtha. Okay, like that. He says. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, correct. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu and Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So by the practice of bhakti, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And then next verse he says, Tada Rajastamo Bhavaha. This indicates the stage of Ruchi and Asakti. Okay. So all these Raja and Tamo Bhava, the effect of Rajas and Tamas, the modes of passion and ignorance disappear, and pure goodness, Sitam Sattve Prasidati, it says next line. Okay, sattva will be established in the heart as a irrevocable fact. Prabhupada says like that, and he becomes completely happy. Sitam sattve prasidati. Okay, kam, lobha, ada. These all things will be chetetar anavidham. Okay, these will be removed from the heart, he says. Okay, and then last, which we are discussing currently. Okay, bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Okay, evam prasanna manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Adokshaje. Okay, so then such a person gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead, and this indicates the stage of Bhava. At this stage, the avidya is destroyed. This is what we are discussing here. Okay. And then at the end, vidyate hridaya granthi. So destruction of the avidya, yeah, here it's mentioned, happens at the stage of bhava. So this is part of the same shloka. Bhagavad Tattva Vijnana Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hridaya Granthi. Like that. Stage, at this stage, the knot of ignorance within the heart is cut. Okay. Vidyate Hridaya Granthi. And one sees the Supreme Lord. Drishta Evanu. Okay, some word comes there. So he sees the Ishware, correct. Supreme Lord. He sees the Supreme Lord. That is the end of the Bhav stage. Okay. So then he gives now another proof from Padma Puran. So till now he quoted that how this series Avidya, Papa Bijam, Pap, everything is destroyed. And now he says that Avidya, it is destroyed. What is the proof that is given from Padma Puran? So Kritanu Yatra Vidyabhi Hari Bhaktir Anuttama Avidyam Nirdhati Ashu Dava Jwalena Pannagim. Yeah, please read.
As the forest fire burns up a female snake demon, supreme devotion to the Lord quickly burns up avidya completely. By the knowledge, vidya, which accompanies bhakti.
Yeah, so Padma Puran he's quoting and says that Hari Bhakti Anuttama is the greatest, is the highest. Avidyam Nirdhati. By it, avidya is destroyed. Directly the word avidya is given. How? When it is destroyed? Ashu. Very quickly. Very quickly it burns up. How? Just like a snake is destroyed in a forest fire. So all the animals flee away in the forest fire except the snake. Snake is burnt. Okay. So like that avidya is also destroyed. Yeah, please read.
The example is being given in this connection that when there is a forest fire, the extensive blazing automatically kills all the snakes in the forest. There are many snakes on the grounds of the forest, and when a fire takes place, it burns the dried foliage, and the snakes are immediately attacked. Animals who have four legs can flee from the fire or can at least try to flee, but the snakes are immediately killed. Similarly, the blazing fire of Krishna consciousness is so strong that the snakes of ignorance are immediately killed.
Yeah, so this is what Prabhupada says on this verse, that snakes are immediately killed. Like that, Krishna consciousness is so strong it immediately destroys all the avidya. Okay. So any questions what we discussed till now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Uh,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, that sequence you explained, is it just applicable for Papa?
Which sequence you are saying?
The
First
yes,
avidya.
Beta, yes, Avidya, then
Okay.
that
Okay.
sequence.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, is it for the Punya karmas as well? Because generally in vernacular Marathi language, we understand this prarabdha as cumulative of all the reactions. So is it Punya karmas as well included there?
Yeah. That Krishna, Vishwanath Thakur told na, that happiness as well as stress both are not given by karma. Punya karma will give happiness, that also is
Mhm.
destroyed,
Okay.
and Papa karma which will give distress, that is also destroyed. Happiness and distress both are given by Krishna only. And why Punya karma, then it is good now, why it is destroyed? So he says by Punya karma one will go to heaven and again come back to earth. So cycle of birth and death is not destroyed by that. So Krishna takes away the Punya also. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Don't fear, I will take away all your papa. And also don't fear if I take away your Punya. Like that. So both are taken away like that.
And
Okay.
one more question, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Uh, Generally, I mean, now I understood what you have explained till now,
Mm,
because unless what we heard in the previous lectures or somewhere from the devotees, unless we have that baggage of prarabdha, our life may not go, because
mm,
whatever is happening in our life from birth is because of the prarabdha, the karmas which are fructifying now. So you explained that even that is also gets destroyed even at the stage of sadhaka, and Krishna ordains or Krishna controls or Krishna gives the result whatever he desires. So Prabhuji, is that true, or is the other understanding is true? Because sometimes they say even to move your hand you need some karma balance. So that
Yeah.
way I was confused.
Yeah. So I think it's coming, or it was not explained, but it's here. It's Bhakti Sindhu. It will come.
Okay.
He says that those karmas which are Krishna keeps some of the karmas, like he keeps the body. Prarabdha karma is destroyed means body also should be destroyed actually. But he keeps the body, and activities he keeps of the body also active for supporting the activities of bhakti. Okay. So by which the devotee can do the activities of bhakti, that karmas are preserved and those karmas are not destroyed. Like body is necessary for doing bhakti. Like that. So who is at the stage of prema? For him, everything is destroyed fully. Avidya and all, everything is destroyed. Where is the question of having a body? But still Krishna has the body intact for that person to continue his bhakti in that body also in this life, like that. So even for sadhaka, same thing he says, that for sadhaka also to do the activities of bhakti, shravanam, kirtanam, all these things, we need our senses also, right? So the very definition of sadhana bhakti is kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava. By the action of the senses, one reaches to the stage of bhava. So to keep the action of senses active, body is needed and required activities are kept by Krishna. That is also explained. Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, is it by the law of karma, or the Yamraj is the I mean, orchestrating everything, or Krishna will orchestrate that? Or is
Yeah.
it
Law of
both?
karma.
Okay.
Yeah. Law of
Yes.
karma is orchestrating the whole uh, community as a whole the community of people, as well as except the animals and all those things, for like human species only, for them only karma is there, and as well as all the material activities, everything is ordained by, we can say, the prakriti, or personified prakriti, mother Durga, like that. Okay. Now for devotees, they are not under the control of the karma, they are under the control of directly Krishna, or we can say Krishna has taken off their karma into his hands. Whichever karma may be favorable, that he will allow to happen. Whichever is like hellish suffering, like Vishwanath Thakur told, that he will not allow to happen, which will be unfavorable for bhakti. So Krishna has taken the charge now. So for devotee, now somebody may say, will the astrology work? Yes, it will work. Because astrology, what it shows, the pattern of karmic, whatever past activities they might have done, that pattern astrology will say. Okay, will everything happen exactly according to astrology? That is not sure. If Krishna wants, it will happen. If it is favorable for bhakti, it will happen. Because what is the purpose of Krishna? To bring him closer to bhakti, increase his longing for him. And the example was given like a mother or father beats the child. It's for their uh, benefit. Somebody may say, oh, if somebody becomes a devotee, then astrology should not work. Not like that. Whichever is favorable for him to come closer to Krishna, Krishna will allow to happen like that. Okay.
Understood. And Prabhuji, this is for sadhakas as well, right? Prabhuji,
Yeah. Because that is described in the third chapter of Madhur Kadmini. Whatever we discussed from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, that is in the third chapter. Third chapter, the chapter title is Anarth Nivritti. Anarth Nivritti, these are the things which Vishwanath Thakur is describing. So he is not describing for a Siddha. He is describing all these things in the context of a sadhaka who is undergoing Anarth Nivritti. That is the point. Okay.
Understood, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else has any question on what we discussed till now? Okay, so then next time, I think tomorrow we will discuss this second quality or speciality, Shubhada. Okay, bestowal of happiness, and other third, fourth, and fifth, sixth. Okay, what are the effects of bhakti on a devotee? What are the specialities of bhakti? Okay, so we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Shri Jiva Goswami ki jai. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
No.